dugsiyada nuuraddiin schools.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Ikhwani with a new lesson. I hope every student is safe and happy and enjoying the lessons at home. Alhamdulillah. Welcome back, please, my dear. Today is a little bit different than the lessons we used to have had. It's all about writing. I know every student is really in a very good mood and taking advantage for the previous lessons. We have had learning and understanding the tenses, and we will continue the rest of other tenses. But today is all about writing. But what do I mean writing? We start writing from letters, A, B, C, to words. And then what? Sentences. And then what? Paragraphs. And then what? Essays. And then what? Compositions, reports, unless we write a book. But today, what are we going to master? We are going to master today how to write a professional email. How to write a professional email. Today is all about how to write a professional email. Okay. This is how to write a professional email in English. In simple 5 steps. Right. You will look this lesson, inshallah, on your book on page 73, 74, and 75. So today is all about writing a professional email writing in 5 steps. Okay. Look, you see this picture. See this picture? A guy with a computer. When you are writing something, you need to have all your materials ready. If you are writing, for example, an email, you must have your computer ready, okay? Or maybe your pen. Look, okay? See this picture, all right? Fine. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. For most of us, email is the common form of business. It's a common form of business. What do I mean is a common form of business? When letters, we used to divide into 2, formal letters and informal letters. But today it's different. It's all about writing a professional email. So, the most common form of business communication. So it's important to get it right when you're writing. You must get it right. Although email usually aren't as formal as letters, they still need to be professional. Email is not formal, so they need to be professional. When you're writing an email, your email must be very professional. Okay, how to write a formal email. This is what we are going to study today. How to write a formal email. Following these simple steps, make sure your English emails are perfectly and professional. So we will look these steps, inshallah. All right, to write a professional email. So, step 1, begin with greetings. Whenever you are writing an email, you have to start with greeting. All right, what do I mean greetings? Normally, if you know the person, you use special greetings for the person. You know each other very well. But if you don't know who you are sending the email, there is another form of really writing the greetings. And another one, thank the recipient. Recipient is nothing else but the receiver. Who's going to receive your email? You have to thank him. These are the steps. Okay. Step 3, state your purpose. If you don't state your purpose, your email will not be clear. So you have to state your purpose. And here, add a closing remarks. Normally when we are writing emails, don't forget to add your closing remark. And finally, with a closing, end with a closing. So let's take these steps one by one. Number one, when starting with greetings. Okay, you start with what? Greetings. Let's read this part. Let's read this part, all of us, to understand what do I mean, to understand what do I mean greetings. Let's read this highlighted part. Always open your email with greetings, such as what? Dear Ahmed. If your relationship with the reader is formal, if the person you are writing the email, your relationship is formal, we divide the relationship into two: formal relationship and informal relationship. So if the person you are writing the email and you has a formal relationship, use the word dear. But if you have an informal relationship, you can say like hi, hello, whatever. You can use any word you want. It depends on your choice of words. But if it's a formal, don't forget to use the word dear. All right, this one, dear. Okay, and here we got use their family names like dear, master, or price if your relationship is formal. These are the words you need to use: master, mistress, dear, price, master. These are the words you need to use. But if the relationship is more casual, what do I mean more casual? More informal. What do you want to do? All you have to say is simply hi or hello. Hi, Umar. You start with your email a greeting like hi, because the relationship you have is nothing else but casual, right? Your relationship is nothing else but casual. Let's take this one. If you don't know the name of the person you are writing to, or use the word to whom it might concern. Sometimes we start letters with to whom it might concern. It is when you don't know the person's name who you are writing to. I have said what? If the person you are writing the email has a formal relationship with you, all you have to do is what? Dear. But if you have a casual relationship, what you gotta do? Simply you say hi. But if you don't know, look at that, if you don't know the name of who you are writing the email, all you have to do is what? To whom it might concern. Your greeting must be what? To whom it might concern. Or simply, dear sir or dear madam. That's when you don't know the person. I said how what? When you have a formal relationship, when you have a casual relationship, and when you don't know. Don't forget that three, my dear. Let's go step two. Step two is when you are thanking to the recipient. Recipient is what? The receiver. Who's going to receive your email? It's called what? The recipient. So fine. MashaAllah. Let's read, to understand the word thank the recipient, let's read this part. Okay. To understand more clearly, what do I mean? Thank the recipient. All right. Let's read this part, my dear. Okay. If you are replying to a client, I think some of you are now wondering the meaning of client. Client is nothing else but a purchaser, or simply you call it a customer. This word client is really very common in the business world. So normally you will see the word client in the business environment. So look at this. If you are replying to a client inquiry is when you are answering to. You should begin with a line thanks, a line of thanks. For example, if someone has a question about the company, you can say, thank you for contacting. So this we call thanks, when you are thanking the person. You understand what I'm saying? So look, like you say what? Thank you for contacting an ABC company. Or for example, if someone has written to Nuruddin Secondary School an email, when I'm going to what? Write an inquiry to that company, all I have to say is, thank you for contacting Nuruddin Secondary School. Right, so this, we usually thank the recipient when we are writing a professional email. If someone has replied to one of your emails, be sure to say, thank you for your prompt reply. Okay, if someone, what? If someone replied to you to one of your emails, be sure to say, thank you for your prompt reply. Or you can also say, thanks for getting back to me. Look how pretty it is when you are really doing things like that, my dear. And I hope, inshallah, tomorrow, after tomorrow, you will join the business wall. And you will write a lot of different professional emails, inshallah. Thanking for the reader puts him or her at ease. When you thank the reader, it will make him or her feel at ease. And it will make, look at that, and it will make you appear more polite. It will make you appear what? More polite. Okay, let's go with step 3. State your purpose. When you are writing a professional email, state your purpose. Let's read this part to state our purpose. Okay, let's read this part to state your purpose. If you are starting the email communication, it might be impossible to include a line of thanks. Instead, begin by starting your purpose. For example, I am writing to inquire about, or I am writing in reference to. This is when you are stating the purpose. Imagine back in the old days, my dear, I used to teach you about writing letters. We divided letters into 2. Formal writing letters and informal writing letters. So you remember when I was teaching you the letter writings, when you are writing a letter, it always consists of 3 parts: the salutation, the purpose, the body, and the conclusion. It must be what? 4. The salutation, the purpose, the body, the conclusion. There are another ones like the closing tag. But don't forget, whenever you are writing an email or even a letter, to state your purpose. It's really a very important part. Normally a lot of people really forget to mention their purpose in their writings or in their letters, which can make their letters look very bleak. Let's take a look this one. Okay, I am writing in reference to. This must be what? The purpose. Or you can say, I'm writing to inquire about. Make sure your purpose is very clear early on the email. All right? Your purpose must be very clear early on the email. And then move into main text of your email. The main text of your email will be what? The body. The body. They also call it the main part in English. The main part. This is where you want to put the whole things you need. For example, all you want to say, you express in your what? In your main text. They call it the main text, they call it the body, or normally they can call it the main part or the body. Remember, people want to read emails quickly. Don't forget, people read emails quickly. Some of you, I have seen, my dear, writing almost 2 pages of an email. You don't have to do that. Your email must be very concise and to the point. Let's take this one. So keep what? Your sentences short and clear. You don't need to write that much. You also need to pay what? Careful attention to the grammar. Oh, my dear. let's turn to grammar. I couldn't speak English if I don't know how to use grammar. Certain teachers, they say grammar not first, but I say grammar is very important because you cannot write anything. You know, guys, let's take an example, punctuation marks. Comma kills a man. How did comma kill a man? It's very important to look back my grammar lessons, my dear. So here we see what? Attention to your grammar. Okay? And we have what? Spelling, my dear. Spelling, my dear. You don't have to write Somali when you are writing English. If you are writing English, write English. But if you are writing Somali, write Somali. You remember someone is writing about mangoes and you will see them talking about monkeys and donkeys. Is that right? No. So spelling is very, very important, my dear. And punctuation marks, my dear. Punctuation marks, my dear. So that you present a professional image of yourself and your company. But if your punctuation marks look very ugly, and you don't use proper grammar, and sentences look all very ugly, you know, your image of yourself and the image of your company would not look good. So they will take a bad image of yourself and the company as well, my dear students. Okay, now let's go to see this gentleman right here. And normally, see this gentleman, beautiful laptop. He's writing something. What is he writing? Professional email. Okay, he's writing what? A professional email. A professional email. My dear, look at that. Isn't it beautiful when you sit like that and you have your computer and you start to write something? Isn't it beautiful, my dear? Say yes. This must be the final, step what? This, okay, yes. And we have now adding your closing remarks. When you are writing a professional email, don't forget to add your closing remarks. What do I mean closing remarks, my dear? Let's read this part to understand more what do I mean about closing remarks. Okay, before you end your email, it's polite to thank the reader more time and add, look at that, and add some polite closing remarks. You might start with what you are closing. You can start with saying what? Thank you for your patience and cooperation. This is one way to conclude. This is one way to close your email. Or you can also say, my dear, thank you for your consideration. This is also another way of closing your email. And then follow up with, if you have any questions or concerns. Or also you can say, don't hesitate to let me know. This is also another way of closing. And you can also say, I am looking forward to hearing from you. Look at that, my dear. Isn't it very beautiful when you have these closing remarks? Yes, it is. And also we have another closings. We call end with closing. This is also another closing. Normally, my dear, when you are writing letters, I said, we divide writing a letter into a salutation, which is the greeting, like dear. So if you have a formal relationship with a person, you said what? Dear. But if you have casual relationship, you said what? Whatever you want. Hi, hello, and so on. But you start with what? With your purpose, and then what? The main part, which is the body, and then what? The conclusion, which is the closing part. And finally, there's another closing tag, which we call formal closing tag and informal closing tag. So for example, if you are concluding, if you are writing a closing tag of someone you know, you said, best regards. But if you don't know who you are writing to, you write two words like sincerely or faithfully. You don't change that. So it's all about this. And let's take a look this part to understand more about what? About closing tags, all right? So the last step to include and abbreviate is your closing with your name. Your name must be concluded with what? With the letter. Like Omar, like Gedi, like Farah, and all that things. Or you can simply say, my dear, best regards. Or you can say, what? Sincerely, which is very beautiful. And you can say, thank you, are all professional. But please avoid closing tags such as best wishes and cheers unless you have a good friends with the reader. When you have a good relationship with the reader, you can say whatever, as I said earlier. But if you don't have that good relationship, all you have to do is best regards, sincerely, thank you, are professional, but you don't have to write cheers. Cheers. Okay? Finally, before you hit the send button, the send button, review and spell your check your email more time to make sure it's truly perfect. Everything needs a correction. Without correcting your email, you don't have to click the send button, or you don't have to send, my dear. We will see the next part of the letter. This comes to the conclusion of our first part of our writing professional email. I'll show you the next session about a real professional email. This is Ikhwani. I hope you have a bright future. And please be careful always not to forget revising your lessons. I love you all. Assalamu alaikum.